Hello.
Go for it.
Anyway,
I did not do that to you.
You
Do
did.
not blame me.
you said go for it.
Yeah, but I said it. The problem is,
Mm,
we're on different continents, quite a few thousands of miles apart.
that is fair, yeah.
There
Anyway.
is a delay in this.
Hello, and welcome to Cosmere Conundrum. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Nemo.
I'm Roman. Why are we doing that?
Because this might be the first episode someone sees, because you were not going to sit through the entire...
The recap of book one.
Exactly.
Got it.
So,
Fair enough.
if you have been following us for the past several weeks, we have been going through Mistborn, the Final Empire, and we finished
Past
it
several
last
weeks,
week.
past several months.
Yeah, fair. Anyway, today we'll be talking
We've been-
about...
Work on this for like 3 months.
Mhm.
Probably more by the time this gets out.
Probably. Anyway, today we'll be talking about the chapters, well, the entirety of book, really.
Everything.
Everything, yes.
The entire book.
Yeah, our thoughts on everything that has happened and
Yeah,
that
all
probably will
38
happen.
chapters and the epilogue.
And the prologue.
And the prologue.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so
And Nemo was supposed to prepare a list of things we were going to discuss today.
I have it in here, nowhere else.
Except he forgot that I also needed that list to know what we were talking about.
That is
So this is going to go great.
That is fair. Anyway, so before we start, what are your general thoughts over the book?
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good book. That's it.
It's a really good book.
Mhm.
Like, I don't tend to get drawn into books this way very often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Admittedly, 90% of what I read does tend to be non-fiction these days. So
well.
I'm used to
90%
a
of
bit-
what I read.
I'm used to writing that's a little bit dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, 90%
this
of
is
what I
actually
read
well
is
written.
usually fiction, so we are on the opposite ends of the
I
spectrum.
mean, I read fiction, but it's mostly fan fiction, which
It might as well be non-fiction. Anyway,
some of it is well written. Unfortunately, it's about 5%,
exactly.
and that's 5% of the fanfics that have more than one chapter.
Mhm.
The one shots are worse.
Yeah. Anyway,
Also, pray they have more than 10,000 words, because otherwise it's just like, no, these characters do not work this way.
no. That is hardly ever the case, and that's why I am not a big
I mean,
fan
if a
of
character is
fanfic.
relatively simple, it works.
Perhaps.
There's not much you can do to ruin Luna Lovegood, because she's weird as hell anyway.
Yeah, but she's a kind of weird. It's not like
Yes. Yeah, so long, but there's a reason why Luna tends to have the exact same personality in every fanfic and Ron doesn't.
that is fair. But yes, we are not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about Mistborn.
No,
So,
that's no. Yes.
Let's begin with the characters, since we're talking about characters. We have the two main characters.
So are we going to talk about? I don't think the hero's journey exists with this character quite correctly, or are we going to talk about Mr. Self-Sacrifice?
Yeah, both and more,
Yeah.
because there are more characters, obviously. But yes, hero's journey. You don't need to apply hero's journey because again, it's a tool.
There are definitely parts.
Yeah.
It's a tool, but it's the hero's journey. It's shuffled.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
hero's journey has been shuffled.
yeah, I mean that's fine because again, it's a tool. It's not the end all be all of our storytelling.
I mean, we still have the basic things, the call to arms. We still have
Yeah.
the mentor dying.
Mhm. Yeah, so most things pretty much exist in some fashion throughout the book. So let's start with the first character that we're introduced to, Kelsier.
I mean, I was going to say that Lord in the prologue, but sure.
Doesn't matter. Who matters is Kelsier. What do you think of Kelsier?
Kelsier. I don't know.
Still?
He's
Maybe.
complicated.
Yes, but his journey is complete. So
Yeah, his journey is complete.
Mhm.
I very much fall into the for f***'s sake camp.
That's a
For
good
f***'s
camp to
sake.
be because, well, a lot of the things that he
Thing
did.
is, considering how
Mhm.
considering how emotional I am as a person, of course I'm going to get attached to Vin more.
Mhm.
And yeah, then I'm going to follow Vin's reactions to things more as well.
That makes sense.
So when Vin was very angry after Kel's death, I could feel it.
Yes,
And I understood it. Because
especially since
it
Kelsey,
frustrated the hell out of me.
yeah.
Because before we get to the midpoint of that chapter, you think, what the fuck's going to happen now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially since Kelsey kept it all a secret. It's like who Lord Renew knew, and well, the imposter Lord Renew, but that's about it.
They call him Lord Renew.
Yeah, he's playing Lord Renew.
The man was a lord for nearly a year. Yeah.
Fair. But yeah, so yeah, Kelsier is a very he's a very complicated character. Like, we don't agree with everything he did, but we can see why he did most things.
Yes. I just wish he'd explained it a little bit more to his own crew.
Yeah.
Or at least to Vin.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
especially since he grew
considering
to know
Vin's enormous abandonment issues.
Exactly.
It.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially his hatred towards the nobility that was mirrored by Vin's own experiences and
yeah, I feel like that could have been a bit more expanded.
It could be more expanded.
Because in my opinion, it's a good thing that Marsh is still alive, because I feel like we're still missing parts of the background story.
Do you think so? I mean, we know pretty much.
I find it
most of it.
Yes, but I'd like to have it. I would have liked to have it expanded a little. I would have liked it if it was just a bit more detailed.
Yeah.
Because I get it, but it's a little bit like he hates all the nobility because he hates all the nobility.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, a lot of this book, I mean, as we've discussed even throughout the recordings, the book space is all over the place. Like, there are chapters where a lot happens, and then there are chapters where nothing happens.
To be fair, that feels like a TV show.
Yeah, it feels like a TV
some
show.
episodes have very fast pacing, some have very slow pacing, and it depends on the chapter. An action chapter is just going to have faster pacing than a chapter at a ball.
Yeah, but it's not even that. Like, consider the last part with the entirety of like 30.
Oh, that went too. I've said it before. That went too quickly.
Exactly. So there, and then in the middle, when after Finn and Kelsius attack on the palace, that entire section is too drawn out. With like,
I'm not sure if it's too drawn out or if it feels too drawn out compared to the end of the book.
Definitely, yeah.
Because I don't think you can make Vin and Ellen's relationship go any quicker.
No, that shouldn't go quicker, really, because.
No, so you get the issue. It feels slow because the ending is so quick.
Yeah, definitely so. Especially,
it's not the end is not. Thing is, the end is not helped by the fact that we lose one of our two main perspectives.
Yeah,
and yeah, we have Ellen now as well, but Ellen's not in it enough to fully expand it.
Also, like we have talked about multiple times throughout the recordings, that several of the chapters should have been split into multiple parts.
Yeah, there are multiple cases. You could make a good argument that this book should have like 50 chapters just by splitting up some chapters.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. A chapter can be very short. It can be a few pages long. That's still a chapter. If it's describing a full scene or where something important happens, that can be a chapter.
Yeah, I mean, you do not care about chapters when you're binge reading it. But like, if you're not binge reading it, then
yeah, the thing is, you could notice it whenever there was a break in a chapter, where you could definitely tell you could have just done a chapter break.
Yeah, definitely so.
If you are changing locations completely, probably best to do a chapter break.
Yeah, and there are several chapters where we follow the same perspective like multiple times throughout the chapter even. So that also could have been broken up a few times. So that makes
Yeah, I mean, just think of the chapter in the end where Vin's been captured and we get it interspersed with the Ellen part.
Yeah.
The Ellen part should have been its own chapter.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't.
could have.
The thing is, I'm beginning to fall fully into the don't do multiple perspectives in one chapter unless there's a very good reason for it.
I know several of the books.
The Kelsey death chapter absolutely needed to flip flop.
Yeah,
but I don't like it when you're in Vin's mind as she's been captured and she gets knocked out, which someone getting knocked out should absolutely be a chapter ender, and then you're in Ellen's perspective.
Yeah, section breaks.
Especially if you're listening, because it's first like, wait, where are we now?
Yeah.
If there's a chapter, if there's a new chapter, you at least know, oh, there's a new chapter, we might get a new perspective. Like if the next chapter then starts begins with Vin woke up or the keep was busy, you kind of know where you are.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, it's like, I guess we're now following Ellen's.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, yeah, we can discuss about the book being split into multiple chapters for very long.
Yeah, but we're supposed to be talking about the characters. We're not.
We're not. But yeah,
this is why we should have had a list.
Speaking of Vin, what do you think of Vin?
I like where Vin starts and where she ends. It's a very logical through line. The fact that from a few chapters in, I was screaming at people to hug her.
Yeah,
and the way she'd gone from absolutely no trust in anyone to, at minimum, trusting Ellen and the crew.
Definitely,
it's good.
Yeah,
and the ending is just sappy sweetness. Let's be honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
The ending of the epilogue is pure, and they lived happily ever after.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed this even in the...
Which gets ruined by the fact that I know there are 2 more books.
We discussed it even in the last episode where we talked about how this book could just be a standalone and it works completely.
Yeah.
Which I think it...
But it leaves enough hooks for the next book. That's the thing. It leaves enough hooks for the next book.
Yeah.
Easy. There is still the fact that at the moment, Daniel Kingdom is a city.
Yeah, it's shattered, and there are like outside forces that will definitely be at work.
We have the missing Atium to deal with. We have whatever the frick's going on with the mist.
And whatever the Lord Ruler said at the end that he was.
And we also have, there are more Inquisitors out there, so we still have to deal with that.
Yeah,
at least we now know how to deal with them. It makes them a little bit less threatening.
Yeah.
They've basically the Inquisitors have gone from Weeping Angels to Daleks.
They have gone from Weeping Angels to Weeping Angels. They were ruined in the 5th season with.
Oh no! Don't go with that.
Exactly.
No, they've gone from the ultimate threat that are terrifying, even when you're discussing them, to they're still a threat, but we can deal with them.
Yeah, we know how.
Which is the Daleks these days.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of the Inquisitors, Marsh. What do you think of Marsh?
Grumpy ass.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, he plays a very important part throughout the book. Like, if he was not there,
he does. He's more important than he appears to be.
Exactly.
But it's also just a case of effectively him getting recruited by the Inquisitors set in motion the chain of events that killed his brother.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that was...
Sure, Kel had always planned it,
yeah.
But we do know that this was not the time this was supposed to happen.
No, it was the catalyst to why Kelsier did what he did, especially going to the pits and destroying it, and then coming back.
The thing is, we still don't know, like, for instance, why did Vernu get captured?
Yes, we have no idea.
We don't know, which is weird, because it's like, Especially because they were all captured and not killed, which means they were probably captured on the barges. And it's like, but why?
Yeah.
We also have, like, I still fully believe that part of Kel's plan was always destroying the pits.
That would make sense. I mean, that is the source of all the...
Because the moment Marsh was dead, he implemented his plan effectively.
Yeah, he knew he has to hurry up, and that's why he basically goes and destroys the pits.
Mm-hmm. And it's like the moment they realize it's Renew and company, it's like, oh crap.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that.
Yeah. And then, speaking of Renew, we discover throughout the book that he is weird, and then weird things are going on around him. And
we didn't know much about him.
No.
But I think one thing I want to point out is when we first meet Renew, he and Kel go into meeting on their own.
Yeah.
That might have been Kel basically saying, we're integrating this girl into our plan.
Yes.
That might genuinely have been his thing of, if I die, you listen to her.
That would make sense.
Even back then. Because it was pretty clear from the start that Kel was training Vin to succeed him.
Especially, yeah, I mean, given...
Now that we know that Kel's plan was always to die.
Probably, yeah.
The second he met Vin and noticed how powerful she was, he trained her fully to replace him as the group's Mistborn.
That would make sense.
Including dealing with Renew. Even if that's not the smartest thing to do when you don't explain anything to her.
Yeah, we have been frustrated with Kelsey throughout the book as well, given his unwillingness to explain things to literally any one of the crew members.
Which is a flaw. That's a character flaw for Kelsey.
Yeah, pretty much. And
it's effectively paranoia.
Yeah.
But it's logical paranoia because of what happened with the palace infiltration.
Yeah.
It's like, no, because at that time, he didn't know that what Vin later discovers. He thought that the only thing that could have happened is my own wife betrayed me.
Yeah.
So of course he's paranoid and doesn't tell anyone anything.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to believe it, but he can't help thinking about it. And that's basically what's keeping him
the thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. The second he realized, oh, that's why he should have told Vin.
Yeah. Definitely.
Probably still not the I plan to die, because then Vin would have tried to intervene. But at least explain the contingency plans he has in place.
Yes. But like, he had to die, given how things go.
Yeah, but it's more like, don't worry about everything. He should have been better about it, and he wasn't.
Easily. And yeah, speaking of his plans,
I want to point one thing out about Renew. Because of the Inquisitor section we got, we now know why a Kandra cannot go near an Inquisitor.
Yeah.
They are filled with multiple bodies.
Yes. Also,
Inquisitor would notice that.
Yeah. Given they again with a Kandra, we know that they take over bodies by consuming their the body as a whole. So it might. Do you think that Inquisitors can notice any form of magic that is going on around it? Because that is essentially some form of magic, some form of unexplained.
I don't know. I think it's more the fact that because of their iron sight, that they would just notice that it's multiple bodies stacked on top of each other.
Isn't this just one body when the body did the takeover?
Renew literally says that a Kandra is a grown-up Mistwraith.
Yes.
And we know Mistwraiths are filled with multiple bodies. So there are clear biological differences, which would, for someone whose sight is literally based on seeing the metal in your body.
Yeah.
Considering, Renew took an axe to the spine.
And didn't die.
And was fine.
Yeah, but it wasn't his spine. It was Renew's spine.
That's the thing. Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah. They're completely different biologically.
Yeah, that would make sense why they cannot go near Inquisitor. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of the plans, Sazed, who was another person who was incredibly instrumental.
I just remembered something about Renew. You know how Lord Renew always seems to know everything that Lord Renew knew?
Yeah.
I think they gained the memories of the person. That might explain why he knew Kelsey's plan. Kel didn't tell Renew everything, just enough. And then he worked on Kelsey's own memories.
Huh.
Because he knew everything Renew should know as a Lord.
Hmm.
So perhaps, like, I don't know, but it's a bit odd.
I mean, to be fair, it's still weird them getting the entirety of memories.
Renew acted like a proper Lord. There was no indication that he was acting.
Yeah.
So they learn at least something from eating the body. Sorry, let's go to Says It and not do the disgusting Kandra. Because they are disgusting as a concept.
Yes, I mean, body horror is a very disgusting concept anyway, but we'll see more of it as we go on.
I'm sure.
Anyway.
Yes, I'm sure.
Says It. Another person instrumental in the whole plan.
He is a good man, I think. I think.
Yeah, easily.
I like that. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the best characters in this book. Like, if you're not counting the main characters, Kelsey and Ben, from the side characters, he's definitely one of the best characters. I don't know. What were you going to talk about, Says It? What do you think of Says It?
He's fun. Let's be honest, he is exposition dumpster character.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he actually has a personality instead of a walking Wikipedia page.
Yeah, like from what we know about the Terracemen, especially like how they have been under the rule of the Lord Ruler, especially with the breeding program and all. The fact that Says It broke out of it and seems to have a bit more rebellious nature,
and the fact there are more of them out there.
Yeah,
he isn't alone in it. It's also not like it feels like there are more keepers than you'd think, but still not many.
Oh yeah, definitely so, because we know that the Lord Ruler tried to basically eradicate them completely, so they have to live in hiding. So obviously there are more than we would think, like definitely more than like about a dozen or so.
I imagine Says It is exceptional in the fact that he's willing to go to the capital. Also, I think he's one of the few who is rebellious enough to actually work against the Lord Ruler. Like, yes, most of them are just trying to keep alive what they know.
Yeah, while others might live in hiding, he's the one who would do something to, again, as we see him being implemented into Kelsey's plan. But yeah. Keepers, interesting concept.
Yes. They are basically just walking encyclopedias.
Yeah, it's the lore keepers
with superpowers. They are walking encyclopedias with superpowers.
Yeah, it's the lore masters from Lord of the Rings, so Elrond, but without being immortal.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, other members of the crew: Breeze, Ham.
I love Dox.
Yeah, Doxon is probably the best character out of those, especially given his
Dox
care
is
for
fun. Yeah, it's very clear how much he cares for Vin. And I love that. But then again, the entire crew, like even Breeze with the way he acts, he still cares for Vin.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I will point. Like, we know for a fact that when Ellen's spoke to the crowd in front of the palace, Breeze steps up to help him. For let's be honest, no real other reason than this is Vin trusts this guy.
Yeah. Especially since Ellen went to get Vin as well. So that also helps.
Ellen rescued their pseudo-niece.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, despite what Breeze likes to put on, the facade, that he does not care, that he is... basically,
we've noticed that what Kel explains that you are the people who would be good for this.
Yeah.
Yes, you care about money, but you care about the people more.
And he especially mentions Breeze. even in that speech.
Mhm.
But yeah.
We also got like even Clubs.
Mhm.
Like, yes, Clubs is a grumpy ass, but he's still willing to do everything, and it's fully clear that he was fully aware that he was going to be a general in this rebellion. He was he knew full on, like, no, the moment this rebellion starts, I'm going to be leading these troops.
Yeah, easily. Speaking of Eden.
Idiot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just an idiot.
Yeah. Given basically ended the plan pretty early.
He nearly ended the plan.
Nearly ended the plan. Part of the plan was completely destroyed because of him.
Yes, but honestly, when I look back at it, marching the army to Luthadel anyway would have been almost impossible anyway.
Yeah, I think the fact that the part of the army was inside Luthadel helped them mobilize so quickly.
Yeah.
After the death of Kelsier.
It did, and it's clear that the plan was also reworked to take that into account.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to be quick about it.
Yeah, I mean, Kelsier was pretty quick on getting like that plan, making that plan when he went to the caves, and he already had that backup plan in effect.
Yeah, but what I also love is like even how in the second they realized, oh, it's Renew's troops, and they were going to, he ran off to get one of the groups.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't hesitate. He just sprinted off.
Mm-hmm. And then, well, he is the one who basically saves Finn. Otherwise, Finn would have gotten to Kelsier and died promptly at the hands of the Inquisitors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Those are the characters from this. We can talk about the Lord Ruler.
Oh, sorry?
Ellen.
Did you forget Ellen exists?
Yes.
I know you don't like Romans, but this is getting a bit ridiculous. You completely forgot about Ellen.
To be fair, Ellen...
You forgot about our glorious new king.
Yes, but he doesn't do much in this book.
No, but you can tell he also goes through basically multiple mini arcs.
He has a mini arc, yes. I think all of the characters have some form.
No, he has multiple basically. Even in the chapter where he takes control, like he's put in charge of Keep Venture and the troops. That's a mini arc, all of it on its own, because he's at first he's still nervous as hell, and by the end of it, he's confident as hell.
Yeah, he definitely takes charge pretty quickly, and he, as I said, he sends all his troops to Lekal, and
he's smart.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He would not be good as a general in the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have talked about it before that he would be a good strategist, not a tactician.
He's probably also a good logistician.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, his arc makes sense for what he is doing in his book. That given that he was basically he has grown up as a nobleman, so he doesn't have much.
Yeah. Well, the thing is the way he at first says to Finn about how this is about the scar and such, and it's like you can tell this is someone who just doesn't interact with the scar. It's pointed out basically that a lot of the staff for the great houses are not scar but minor nobility.
For the inside of the keep, definitely.
Outside the inside of the keep, yeah. Now, the guards are probably still mostly scar, but why would Ellen speak to the guards? That's just not logical for him.
Yeah. And that's also where his
But it's like the second he learns Vin's scar, his entire opinion on the scar switches.
Yeah,
he realizes, this is what she meant. He fully goes, this is what she meant. She was giving hints.
Yeah. But yeah, that is where his curiosity comes from, which as even Kelsier says through early on, that he's more curious than he doesn't have the empathy, but all of it is just from the place of curiosity.
Thing is, he doesn't have the empathy because he doesn't understand.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we.
It's not coming from a lack of. It's not that he doesn't have empathy; it's that he doesn't understand where to place it.
Yeah, and once he learns that, he places it in the right place, and he basically stops the rebellion from killing themselves or killing everything else.
Yeah. And then even still, despite clearly not knowing what the hell he's doing with a weapon, charges straight into the palace.
Yeah.
With what? 6 men?
Yeah, easily. Which.
Oh, there was a part of me that was slightly surprised that Ham didn't join him.
Yeah, but like they had their own job.
But I fully feel like that might have been him. Like Ham was probably outside the palace organizing the troops.
Yeah, because they didn't want.
Because let's be honest, it would take clubs a little bit of time to get there.
Yeah, but yeah, as I said, they don't want it to go to anarchy. They want it to be controlled chaos. Which, if they didn't,
but, I mean, we even still, even as things are going into anarchy, Doc still goes, we need to secure the food stores first.
Yeah. Food stores, weapons.
Which is also awareness of the fact that they are going to be controlling a city and only a city.
Yeah.
And because of Luthel's central location, they have just blown up the entire empire's economy.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, also everyone else that is outside Luthadel will have their eyes on Luthadel to capture the seat of the power, basically. Because once you have the seat of the power, your claim becomes more legitimate.
Yes. It's helped also by the fact that the Lord Ruler is dead.
Yeah, obviously.
And that the Lord Ruler gave central authority over the ministry to the Inquisitors. There's only one Inquisitor left in Luthadel.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they effectively control the state, but the problem is the communication is so slow. And you still have the fact that at least some of the nobility is going to have escaped and is going to rally their own forces.
I mean, we know Strafventure tried to escape at least.
If he made it out of the city.
If he made it out alive. But yeah.
I kind of hope so, because I want a confrontation between Alan and his father.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Keep that trapdoor intact, buddy.
It's okay. I am very good at gaslighting. But yeah.
Yes, you are, you.
Anyway. Yeah, but those are the characters. There are other characters as well. We have the Lord Ruler.
Yeah, we have the author of the logbook and the Lord Ruler, which we thought were the same person. Sorry, let's be honest. I thought was the same person. Someone has read these books before.
Yeah, I mean, the Lord Ruler. We don't get to meet much of him. We don't like. From the beginning of the book, we think that we are seeing into the mind of the Lord Ruler, but by the end, we realize that the logbook is not really the Lord Ruler.
No, it's basically just giving. Honestly, if there's one part of this book that is setting up the next 2 books, it's the logbook.
Yeah.
Because we can fit. It's not difficult to put together. Like, oh, the deepness is coming back.
I mean, yes.
That's not a wild guess to make.
No, that makes sense. But yeah,
especially because it's like, oh, the Lord Ruler said like, oh, something, blah blah blah. That's an indication of he's still doing something actively.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we have talked about this before, that the deepness is probably some form of supernatural.
Oh yeah, obvious.
Effect.
It basically sends out blight.
Yeah, there's a blight. There are volcanoes everywhere.
The world is literally the world, like the way the world is laid out is different from the time before the Ascension.
Yeah,
as evidenced by the islands to the south that spew fire.
Yeah, and that being
which are the ash mounts near Luthadel, clearly.
Yeah.
The fact that the Terraceman lands used to be fertile pastures and are now tundra.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a mini Ice Age kind of thing.
It does feel like it. Yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah.
It feels more like a permanent nuclear winter, to be fair.
Yeah, like we are already talking about it, so let's talk about the world and the world building at large.
It's a very well described world, even if we don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the thing. We don't know. The fact that we went through the story with there's ash everywhere. The book literally starts with ashes falling from the sky, and we don't go to one of the ash mounts.
No, we not at.
We don't even really see. We don't see them in the book.
No,
like they're not They're not described as being ominous in the distance, really.
No.
So it's just a thing that exists.
Yeah, all of their presence is indicated by the ashfall. That's it. Which is constant. So
which is
there's something.
But we also get like, oh, there is snowfall, but it is not common in Luthadel in the surrounding area.
I don't think
that's an indicator of roughly where in the world it is as well. Like it's clear this was warm at one point, so I'm guessing it used to be roughly Mediterranean temperatures or something.
I would go so far to say it's tropical.
It depends. I don't think the world is that big. Compared to what we know, considering how far north the Terrace Mountains are, with how big the world is, it's a bit difficult to guess because travel is a bit different because of they're using barges everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's...
Yeah. I mean, the culture is just standard fantasy European like culture that we see literally everywhere. But the world itself...
Yes, but I like how I'm always taken out of it whenever there's a name that is even remotely normal.
Yeah. Yeah, very much.
But that's the same thing. If you've never watched anything Star Wars related and you start with Random Project and then you watch episode 4 and a main character is called Luke and another one is called Ben, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that really depends on how you name things.
Yes, you can go this way where let's be honest, some of the times it's just letters thrown together.
Oh, I mean,
or you can go the way you can also go the way George R. R. Martin went about it, which is take names from our world and modify them slightly.
Further north, yes.
You have lots of,
but he did come up with
everywhere.
No,
everywhere. Every region has names that are similar to ours.
Yes, but like for
not all of
Targaryens,
them. Not all of them.
He did come up with names.
Yes, but the Targaryens, but that's also deliberately a completely different culture from Westeros.
Yeah, that is true.
But names like Arthos and Artis, that's Arthur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just Arthur.
There is an Adam, but it's spelled with 2 Ds.
Yeah.
There is literally Brandon, but variations on it like Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do exist. You also get ones like John, which is just John.
Yeah, I mean, North is definitely the most closer to our universe, but like
I want to point out that the name John is also a Vale name.
Yeah, fair.
And Jon Snow is not named John because it's an old name, because he's named after Jon Arryn.
Yeah, he's named after Jon Arryn. That is true.
But you also get things like Tyrion, and I'm just like, that name is familiar.
Yeah, I mean, George R. R. Martin, I think, is one of the best at naming things because his cultures seem consistent.
Yes, there are clear, like, even within a region, characters, if you have like the Reach, characters from houses Tarly, Hightower, Tyrell could have share the same names, but those names will not be found in the Stormlander houses unless there's been marriages.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, for instance, because the names given to Cersei's children are Western names. All 3 are Western names, despite being a Stormlander house.
Yeah.
Of course, that's also because Robert didn't give a
that probably is the case.
But like Stannis does name his daughter a name that fits very well into the Stormlands.
Yeah, I mean, he's very consistent with names, which is something I think this book... I mean, we did talk about it with how the 10 great houses, some of them are English, but while the others are not.
Well, that's the thing. The names of the great houses are very interesting. I'm gonna just... Because Vin at one point lists out all of the...
Yeah, she lists out all of the great houses where you get like Venture.
Which is why I'm looking at the list right now.
Eric Keller, Lekal,
yeah, and it's like, okay.
I forget the names of this.
Yeah, there. Yeah, we have Venture, Hasting, Ilariel, Tikiel, Likel, Erikel, Hod, Urbane, and Buvidas.
Yeah, so like...
Of those, the only ones we actually see of are the first 5.
Yeah. I mean, the others
which tells you that those are the 5 most prominent. And I do think, because they were all in order of power, that is why.
Yeah.
Like, we don't hear anything in the book about Erikel or Erikella.
No, but we know that like 6 out of the 10 houses have fallen, so that really depends.
Yeah, and Venture and Likel are still standing by the end of it.
Yeah. But yeah, those themes we did talk about at a point and at how they feel different, and we did attribute it to them being from different regions, especially how the
it's
great
the most
houses
logical
work.
because Venture and Hastings, a very clear English name, as is Hot.
Yeah. Well, the others are very...
Urbain is very French based.
Yeah.
Urbain.
Yeah.
And Bouvidas could be very Iberian based. And like Alariel, Tikiel, and Likel, I feel like those are just elven names.
Yeah.
And Eric Kell and Eric Keller, because of the word Eric, I'm more assuming Northern.
Yeah, feels Northern.
Especially because they're two very similar names, and it feels like a very Scandinavian thing to have happen.
Yeah, that's basically Stark and Kostak. But yeah. That makes sense. I mean, the culture is, again, as we said, pretty standard European culture.
What's different from most fantasy stories is the fact that we're clearly not in the Middle Ages, which is a very big difference from most fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about,
especially because it's a world without gunpowder. Because it's a world without gunpowder, but in a late 18th, early 19th century setting, with an industrial revolution clearly ongoing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense. Speaking of...
the big thing is we've only really had 2 cities described. So...
Yeah, I mean, if we see more cities, then we'll probably be able to pinpoint a bit more of how the world
I want to point out something that I just noticed because I'm on the page with the description of the houses, and I want to point out that when Vin is describing who she is now, it's Valette Renou, and her city is Chakath. Chakath. It's in the Western Dominance. That's it exports wool, and I'm just like, okay, so it's England.
Western exports wool, yeah.
But the Chakath is very interesting as a name because it's not at all English.
No. I mean, Renou is itself...
In fact, I describe it closer to a South Asian name than anything else.
Yeah, I can see that. Anyway.
But also, I want to point out they did a very funny thing with the parents of Valette. Hadron is a normal name for the world, and then the daughter's called Valette, so the mother is called Valette. We hadn't talked about that, but that is quite funny.
That is indeed funny. But yes. Yeah, the world, we have talked about the world, we have talked about the culture, we can talk about probably the most interesting part of this book, which is the magic systems.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly well done.
Yeah.
It's a logical system with limits, and yet someone can break those limits.
Yeah, I mean, you have 2 different magic systems in this book itself. You have the Allomancy and then you have Ferrochemy, which are like 2 different aspects of the same kind.
They're cousins. Yeah. They're more cousins because they're both metal-based. It's not like Caesar is suddenly pulling out, oh yeah, I can just cast Fireball.
No. Although maybe, yeah.
And it's like, okay, we also know there are multiple metals we don't know about, so there is still mystery about that.
Definitely.
At least 2 more metals, probably more.
I mean, yeah, we did have the 11th metal. We have theorized about there being the 12th. There is.
We have the weird metal that she burns that gets rid of all metals in her system.
Yes. So that is again an
so we have at least 2 more. We probably have more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're probably going to end up with a system of 16 or 20 metals.
Yeah, I mean, given how they are
just about because the system is 2, 4, 8.
Yeah.
So that would make sense that this is actually 2, 4, 8, 16 or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's not much to describe about the magic system without just describing the entire the magic system.
We can talk about how it works, especially like the limits and how Vin seemingly breaks the limits, and the Inquisitors and the Lord Ruler obviously also break the limits.
Yes, the Inquisitors break the limits, only in I don't think they outright break it like Vin does. That's the thing.
Why do you think so?
They are not naturally able to break the rules, basically.
No.
Marsh is not a Mistborn, remember?
No.
Yet Marsh is an Inquisitor.
Do Inquisitors? Yeah, we don't know what powers Marsh gets after becoming an Inquisitor.
No, but it's very like Vin and the Lord Ruler are a separate case completely.
Yeah, I mean, Lord Ruler himself was also using a combination of both kinds, so that he's in a league of his own. One. We don't have any other person who can do both, so we don't really have someone to compare. But for Vin, especially, like someone we know who has been able to break the limits, especially in multiple instances. For example, her ability to break through the copper clouds, her ability to call upon the mist or whatever to just obliterate the Lord Ruler. But yeah, that is very interesting. Why do you think she's the one? I mean, other than her being the protagonist.
I was going to say it's because she's the protagonist.
Yeah, why do you think she's the one?
My guess would be something along the lines of the world definitely needs someone to fight the deepness. It's been 1,000 years, and the original person who was supposed to defeat it was slain. I feel like that has something to do with it. This might be the universe correcting itself.
If the deepness is a natural force, do you think there is another natural force that is aiding Ben itself?
If it is a natural thing like that, it would make sense that because everything seems to be balanced, that too is balanced.
That would make.
And the world is. There is another thing to consider. We know the deepness was wrecking the world, and just take a look at the world, and it is properly wrecked. It wasn't stopped.
No.
The world wasn't destroyed, but it wasn't stopped destruction. There are. It seems that none of the cities that existed pre-Ascension still exist.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be new. That is weird, but considering everything around, it does seem like the deepness just went on a rampage. On top of that, the population of the world is not super big. It's big, but it's not enormous.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if Luthadel is by far the biggest city with 1 million, then you get into a situation where, okay, a lot of cities aren't going to be that big. They're probably going to be a load in the range of 100,000, maybe. But Luthadel seems to drain the other regions of population effectively.
Yeah, I mean, we have talked about the Paris effect, where the basically
I don't think the Final Empire has the population of Europe in the 1800s.
No, that would be a way too big.
There is not enough food. That's the big limiter. It would not surprise me if the population of the Final Empire is closer to Europe's population after the Black Death.
That is interesting.
It's devastating. It's enough to run a continent on, but not enough to thrive yet.
That would make sense. Yeah. I mean, this is basically a post-apocalyptic world, and
this is a post-apocalyptic world,
and the same as the Black Death. You have not enough people, not enough food to sustain the people. So yeah,
which causes economic shifts. The problem is there is technically a middle class.
Yeah,
because there are wealthy as Scar, but they're not the middle class. They are still treated the same as anyone else. And it should be pointed out that the merchants are all nobility.
Yeah, it's different from how we view nobility, where you have nobility class and the merchant class, which don't typically mix until like very late period.
They effectively have a high and a low nobility. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how the world is trying to function, at least. Anyway, so that is the world mostly. Then we can talk a bit about the plot and where do we think it is going, especially like this book.
The next book is almost certainly going to deal with the fallout in the final empire itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume our two main perspectives are going to be Elend and Vin.
That would make sense, given we ended with
unless Elend gets killed off in the first chapter, which at this point I will be just like, fuck you. But I think it's going to be Elend and Vin, at least at the start. And it's going to be Vin is going to be dealing with whatever's going on with the mist and looking for the other metals. Elend's going to be dealing with the political fallout and the inevitability of war.
That would make sense, especially an empire so shattered, so fractured, would definitely devolve into war.
It's almost going to, because the nobility's going to want to take the city back.
Easily.
Like, the fact that Doxon did not immediately send troops to lock down the barges, that's a clear hole. That's a clear hole in the story for nobility to escape from.
Yeah.
And it's a logical thing because they wouldn't think about it all that quickly. They just think, oh, we need to secure the city gates. Not thinking about we need to secure the barges.
Yeah, which is where a lot of the transport and like cargo and stuff goes through.
Because
makes sense.
In the end, they are still Scar.
I think Elend will definitely think about it if Doxon has not. Given.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I fully feel like the second Elend was proclaimed king, is like secure the rest of this city and secure the barges.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And he would also want take account of who of the nobilities in the city and who escaped the city, because that will indicate what kind of threat we are facing.
Yeah.
For instance, if Straventure is the only one of the great lords to have escaped the city, then he's going to have an enormous amount of power outside of the city because he's the last of the Great House lords.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And by virtue of the death of the Lord Ruler, the fact that most of the Inquisitors are dead, and the Obligators are now technically under the control of Marsh, that makes him the most senior figure in the Empire. That is if he even wants to maintain the Empire at this point. There's also, I believe Elend and Vin both will be dealing with the fact that they don't have atium.
Yeah, that is a big thing.
They cannot bribe the garrison anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they not having ATM also sort of hampers because again, the industry, the economy of the city, capital city, Luthadel, is fractured at this point.
Yeah, but the entire empire runs on the ATM trade.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That's what's keeping the economy flowing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Most of the empire at this point, again, is semi-autonomous.
It is. You're going to almost immediately see breakaways.
Yeah.
But even then, you're still going to be dealing with those are all going to be breakaways led by the nobility unless the Scar themselves rise up. And...
yeah, that's
Luthadel is a special case because they were direct witnesses of Kelsier.
Yeah.
You're going to have the other survivors he freed from the pits. But that's not enough.
Yeah, you'll also have like...
However, it will cause a lot of trouble because we know that the Scar have a better information network than the nobility think.
Yeah, also, we even at this point, we still have the fact that not everyone will believe that the Lord Ruler is dead.
I don't think anyone will.
Because
I genuinely think everyone will think the Lord Ruler escaped.
Especially given...
Why would they believe it?
Yeah.
Why would they believe it?
Exactly.
Oh, yes. This terraceman, this Inquisitor, and this girl say they've killed the Lord Ruler.
Yeah, someone
a man who is immortal.
Yeah, someone who's been there for 1,000 years at this point. Someone who has been propped up as the god, basically. As we have talked about it even before, the fact that the Scar were able to rise up is because Kelsier gave them a new god or someone new to latch on to.
He gave them a new god and he destroyed the soothing stations in Luthadel, which allowed all of the pent-up rage to go out.
Yeah, but for people that are outside Luthadel, the same cannot be said. So they will...
No, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, they will be hanging on to their previous god, and that is Lord Ruler. So you'll have
but the fact that for the first time in 500 years, there's competing religions.
Yeah.
And the Ska definitely praise the Lord Ruler. They don't like it.
Oh no, definitely not, and they shouldn't.
They're just indoctrinated. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, you'll also get multiple factions. You'll have the loyalists who are pretty much for the Lord Ruler, who will try to find out what happened. Then you'll have those breakaways that are trying to vie for power and capture Luthadel for.
Yeah, the furthest out dominances are going to go first.
Yeah.
The dominances, which have such brilliant names.
I mean, you have
like the thing is, we're gonna get the Crescent dominance, the remote dominance, the farmost dominance, and the Southern Islands are going to break away first. Probably straight away followed by the Terrace dominance if they have the people.
Yeah, depends really. Yeah,
but the cardinal direction dominances are closer to Luthadel.
Yeah, I think that you might have the great houses might also be from the cardinal direction, the dominances.
It's almost certainly
because one that is closer to Luthadel, so obviously more power, more food. Second, obviously not being so far from the central power. They are more attuned to the culture and the knowledge that is being spread from the central dominance. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's basically the world at large and what we think will happen. One last thing we can talk about before we wrap it up is the writing of the book. And this is something that I have the most opinion about. I am probably the most opinionated about.
Yes, I think you can tell it's not someone as experienced. You can tell some parts drag.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with you on it's always repeating.
No, it's definitely repeating. Especially that I have read it now second time. I can see the repetition.
I listened to every chapter 3 fucking times. So
yeah, but it's not even about the repetitiveness. Like I'll say this. The book is simplistic, the writing itself. Now, I don't want it to be
some of it, yes.
I don't want it to be anything like.
I do agree.
I don't want it to be anything like the Tolkien mess, because obviously there are people who don't like to read it, and if you want more people to read it, the language automatically has to be somewhat cleansed of such archaic nature. But the language of this book is so simple that there are words that jump out to me when I'm reading through it. Like for example, the word maladroitly. It came up like 3 or 4 times throughout this book, and every time I noticed it. And I shouldn't notice a word in a passage. So definitely feels a bit simplistic. Now, that also facilitates binge reading. So I know people who binge read these books, and so the language being simple obviously helps the readership.
I do feel like at some point he just pulled out the book open and added some difficult words into it.
Yeah, that's exactly what feels like it. And also, I think for me, the language of the book should match the vibe of the book, and that for some reason this book doesn't.
I don't really understand what that even means. So
yeah, that's the thing. I can't put it into words properly. So for example, if I am so this book is based around some form of like late medieval, like early modern stuff. I would rather have a bit of the language that somewhat mirrors that. For example,
I get that, but that's very difficult to write.
Yes, definitely, and that's
and that falls very close to Tolkien, and there's a reason Tolkien pulled it off and most other authors can't.
No, but
the Tolkien actually studied this shit.
No, but you have George R. R. Martin who does the same, and his books match the vibe.
Yes, but George R. R. Martin is also someone who very much he might not have formally studied it, but he definitely studied it.
Yeah, that's. again, if you're writing something,
and again, there's also a very big difference in that this is not set up to be a political thriller in the way A Song of Ice and Fire is.
No, definitely not.
And even still, you'd effectively you'd dangerously close to everyone talking like Sazed.
I wouldn't mind that, but like, yeah,
I would. Sazed is fun, but his reading his stuff can be a bit like, okay, yep.
No, but Sazed is more exposition dump. Again, you don't have to be an exposition dump to be.
No, I mean the way he speaks.
Yeah.
You'd get more of that, and I don't think that would work for a book like this.
I would disagree, but yeah. Anyway, that's mostly my personal opinion about it. It's a good book. I wouldn't call it the best book I've ever read. That I think the best part of this book is the magic system. The plot is somewhat great, but it's still very linear.
Yeah. It has more twists and turns than most books would.
Yeah, definitely. There are definitely more twists and turns, especially given there are twists and turns even from the POV characters, and those don't feel out of place. So that's something that is pretty good. Like we have talked
everything
about
everything with regard to Kelsey and the way he reveals basically that he's going to bemart himself. When you look back at things, that is being thrown at you with hints that you still wouldn't recognize fully.
Oh yeah,
it is still a twist when it's still a big moment when he's dead.
Yeah,
you can tell he's going to die by the middle of that chapter.
Yeah,
but his death is still a shocking moment, and it's I'm a little annoyed we don't live with the shock of that a little longer, because it's half a chapter.
Yeah, that again, that's
his influence is all the way there to the end of the book, but it's only half a chapter where we properly deal with it.
Yeah, that's also where the pacing of the books comes in, where you don't get to think about it for
and it's where the end of it. I almost feel like he wanted to add more, but he was told the book needed to be finished at some point.
Probably. Because I would have done with one more chapter at least in the last part.
Yeah, I'd say 2.
Yeah.
Make the entire chapter 35 just purely around Gel's death.
Yeah.
And as I've said before, then have the end of that be the Scar beginning to move up.
Yeah, because we don't get
then the next chapter is the explanation of Kel's actual plan.
Yeah, because we don't get the what do you call it, the reaction of other crew members. We just get
we don't see that's the thing. We don't see the reaction of the other crew. Heck, we barely see the rest of the crew for the rest of the book.
Yeah, which is
we even then by the epilogue we don't see the rest of the crew anymore.
No,
we hear about them. But we get a line of, "We had no major casualties," and that's it. We learn about Brace's role.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it needed more.
It definitely
ending the official chapters with Lord Ruler's death is the correct choice. But the epilogue may have needed to be a little longer.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's not like it's not one of the biggest. It's the out of the final 5, it is the shortest.
But yeah, anyway, that's the book. Anything else that you would like to say about the book?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm all good.
Okay. If you have to. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I actually have one.
Go ahead.
I am really glad that one. Mr. Bonus is now called Spook, and he's trying to speak the normal language because Christ Almighty, it was difficult to decipher what he was saying most of the time.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I like Spook.
Especially you said, we didn't talk about Spook. Interest. But yeah, Spook, another good character in my opinion. We don't really see much of him, but what we do see of him, especially when he's teaching Vin how to use tin.
He's the most mature 15-year-old boy I've read in a while.
That is fair. But yes.
He takes the rejection completely fairly. He's sad about it, but that's a natural response.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you have to rate the book out of 10.
8.5.
That is definitely
8.5. There are flaws in there. It could have been better. The ending, the speed of the ending does drag it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely higher than mine. I would give it like a 7 out of 10, but yes.
We've noticed this as well whenever we're rating television shows. I am more generous.
Yes,
I have more criticisms, but I am more generous. I don't have the more criticisms yet. I'm also more generous about it.
Yeah,
unless it's Rings of Power. At which point we have the exact same ratings, which is shit.
But yes, we'll talk about that at some point, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we can do an episode at one point about discussing Rings of Power, because that will force us to rewatch it, which we'll hate.
No. But yeah, I tend to rate mostly based on how I felt about the book. I don't really care what your rating is. If you like the book, good for you. If you didn't like the book, again, good for you.
Yeah.
But yes, but yeah, I will recommend
one of our
people
friends about this book just to tell me what I thought about it, because I think Kat would really like to learn that.
Yeah, I will definitely recommend people to read this book because it's a good book in the end.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have 3 books, it's 3 seasons, and it's a big book. Yeah. This is not a short book.
No. But yeah, that's basically the.
I don't. The fun part is I have no clue how many pages it actually has, because I've done the audiobook. But considering the audiobook is longer than a lot of books I have in my library, I love how it's just not. It's casually not giving me the first book in the series on the website.
25 hours, I think, the audiobook is somewhat around.
Yeah, and page is 672. That is a long book.
Yeah, it will.
Because I'm pretty sure that beats these.
Definitely. But yes.
I mean, I have the complete Lord of the Rings here in a copy from the 70s. And this has 1,000 books, and this is 3 books in one.
1,000 pages, but yes.
This is 1,000 pages, and this is all 3 books in one. And it's got gorgeous cover art.
Yeah, that is very. That is very, very beautiful.
Yeah, and it is genuinely from the 70s.
But yes,
it is it's the 17th edition. It's older than me by 20 years.
Anyway, that's
his book.
That's the book. Mistborn: The Final Empire.
Yeah, we're going to the next book. I have things to listen to again.
Yeah.
I can do the dishes again with a book instead of a podcast. I will wait a little bit with listening to the next one, because I actually have things to do today. There are a lot of NFL games on today, and I'm staying up late.
Yeah. Anyway, but see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.